you should watch the Mayo's X-Men 97. Even if you're not a fan of superhero media, the X-Men or animated media in general, it is an incredibly well-written, mature tale of powerful people dealing with the most human, relatable conflicts and drama. I'm a nerd and I've always had a soft spot for superhero media. I never read any comics before this year, but I used to make it a point to catch most of the Marvel and DC Comics live action releases. Since around 2020 though, I've rapidly lost my boner for superhero content. For one, I think the vast majority of recent superhero movies and shows are not very compelling, and my media palette is much less forgiving the older I've gotten. In the past 5 years, X-Men 97 is honestly the only superhero media besides Amazon Prime's The Boys that got me hooked almost immediately. I'm a normie X-Men fan to be fair. I love the principles of equality and acceptance their storylines espouse, and I'm quite partial to their character designs. But as I referenced earlier, my only exposure to the franchise has been through mainstream releases. The only X-Men comic I've read so far is House of X, which I'm only about a quarter way through. In a nutshell, this review is from the perspective of a very casual X-Men enjoyer. That being said, my low status awareness of the IP not affecting how much I was able to enjoy 97 is a testament to the show's universal appeal. I'm sure it has a lot of meat for X-Men nerds in particular to chew on, but it's just as compelling for anyone who's interested in a well-told adult drama with incredible action. X-Men 97 is a revival of a fairly long-running animated show from the 90s. The new show's plot is set right after its older sibling's ending. Professor X is in dire straits after an assassination attempt, and he's sent on an extraterrestrial trip to the alien Shia Empire in a Hail Mary for his recovery. The revival begins a year later with the mutant hero group facing new challenges without their leader, Professor X. 97's pilot begins with a group of the X-Men saving mutants who had been kidnapped by an anti-mutant terrorist group who go by Friends of Humanity. I'll be referring to them as FOH. The terrorists happen to be using advanced technology invented by a formidable figurehead in the anti-mutant movement the X-Men thought they defeated. They investigate the resurgence of this technology by interrogating the assassin who tried to end Professor X. Their investigation leads to the inventor of the technology, Bolivar Trask, who is hiding out in the Sahara. They apprehend him and destroy the specialized supercomputer factory he had designed to create the anti-mutant weapon they encountered.
Marv, help me out!
After, at the X-Men campus, Cyclops, interim leader of the team, and his pregnant wife, Jean Grey, announce their upcoming departure from the team. They want a chance to be able to raise their child in safety. Magneto, whom I presume had been hiding in shame after his numerous failed attempts at usurping the X-Men's representation of mutants, crashes their announcement to reveal with proof Xavier's intention to have him head the team in his absence. The show does an incredible job effectively characterizing its main cast, despite its limited runtime. A major prerequisite for all the fails 97 aims to constantly fledge with. In the next episode, we see Magneto trying his best to uphold the coexistence principles Professor X fought for in an attempt to honor Xavier's trust and request to lead the team, rehabilitating his image and slowly earning the X-Men's trust.
The depths you humans go. Even denying these outcasts the indignity of your waste. Electricity and magnetism are intimately acquainted. How unfortunate for you that I am the master of magnetism.
Dirty mutant! You'll get what's coming to you! You're him! You're...
Magneto. And I promise you, child, you shall never be afraid again.
Cyclops and Jean do an about-10 and decide to stay, still distrustful of Magneto's motives and character. Soon after Magneto's return to the public eye, the UN attempt to arrest him for his past terrorism. To the shock of his detractors in the X-Men, he surrenders and agrees to face trial.
As a boy, my people's homes were burned to ash because we dared to call God by another name. Then, my people hunted me with those who had once hunted them. I was a freak, born a mutant, an abomination to their misnamed gods. In history's sad song, there is a refrain: believe differently, love differently, be of different sex or skin, and be punished. We sing this song to one another. The oppressed become oppressors. Xavier knew this and dreamed we could change, find harmony, a future where human and mutant could relinquish the past and finally... You claim justice is overdue, indeed, but so is healing. You build robots to hunt us, collars to chain our power.
Humanity must protect itself.
Protection, that is extermination. I have only ever acted to avenge crimes against my people.
His trial at the UN headquarters is ambushed by an attack from the FOH. The attacker's leader fires a shot at Magneto, the specialized blast that empowers mutants. There's a delegation of the X-Men in attendance, and amongst them, a powerful black mutant, Storm, one of my favorites, leaps at Magneto in an attempt to save him. She gets shot instead. A frustrated and heartbroken Magneto ends the terrorist attack with a moving show of power and strength, whilst minimizing human casualties.
Lies. This is your dream. My kind splayed before you, powerless and afraid. All the X-Men have done is use their awesome power to protect a world that hates and fears them. Behold their reward. What must we do to be good enough? Is this the high road's destination? If so, I say as I have too many times before. Never again. Bigot. Ingrate. Sycophant. Worm. So small I could smite you with a step. There was a time I would smite you all for what was done to Storm. But today, I have saved you from your own. For an old friend has challenged me to remember this view of Earth. How vast it is versus how small we make it.
This major out of character act of heroism earns him a pardon from the UN. The UN delegation of X-Men return to their compound with Magneto. Beast, the team's resident scientist, immediately performs a couple of tests and concludes that the effect of the depowering blast Storm got hit by appear permanent. He breaks this unfortunate news to her, and in a heart-breaking sequence, she decides to leave the team, convinced she has nothing to offer her found family now. Jean Grey reads to the team a goodbye letter from Storm.
Connection is a fragile treasure, one we sacrifice so much to maintain. Only to then sometimes watch it break in a blink that changes your life forever. We are no longer connected, Jean. And now we walk in two very different worlds.
another person's dream. Buff. Ororo.
Right after, a Jean Grey doppelganger stumbles into the mansion, frail and asking for help. The second episode ends here, leaving you in a pool of intrigue and suspense. 97 will take you on an expertly woven tale of marginalization and the violence inherent in it, heartache and revenge, tragedy and its corrupting effect on responsibility. A dozen dense episodes deftly managed to impactfully explore a wide breadth of themes like keeping hope alive in the darkest of tragedies, the limits of an individual's willpower in a cruel and unfair society, finding the strength to lean on and support your loved ones, and discovering the courage to let go. A steadfast faith in fighting for what's right, and even tender romance. 97 blows me away with how much heart it has. There are countless moments where the writing is especially mesmerizing, and excellent animation and voice acting complement each other expertly, ensuring these emotional peaks get you right in the feels. One of my favorite examples of this 97 strong suit happens in the segment where Gambit confronts Rogue, who is her semi-casual girlfriend, about her bad affinity to their new leader, Magneto. Gambit is firm and understanding, Rogue racked in guilt yet uncompromising in her honesty. Gambit's heart is in pieces, yet he stays a perfect gentleman, brave enough to let go of his dreams about Rogue, secure enough to hold her in the eye.
You never wanted to make things official. I respected that. I played the swamp rat.
And I played your share. All the expectations. Every time looking at you, seeing all the things I couldn't do.
Like telling Gambit the dang truth.
I can't touch you, Remy. Your heart may beat for me, but I can't feel it. You light up everything you touch, but never me.
Something's a bit deeper than skin, Shia.
Another occurs in an episode where Storm is struggling with her loss of identity, the subsequent depression that threatens to drown her, and her leap of faith in accepting help from genius X-Man Forge, in finding the spiritual healing she desperately needed.
You go for help, but there is no pill for my poison. Let him die. Look the other way. Watch. Get used to it. You're not an X-Man anymore. Where did that get you? Kissing the hand that beats you?
I do not fear death.
I know. That's why you rush to play dead. You fear living. As you said to Jean, I have wondered what it would be like to be human. It is a tempting daydream.
I was so tired.
Is that why you fear your power?
The vibes in these two moments are chef's kiss. They could be straight out of an award-winning prestige drama. The pacing, composition, and complexity of the season's events are curated to keep you hooked to the final minute of the season finale. To be clear, this show is not some heavy, cheesy, depressing soap opera featuring cartoon X-Men. There is a lot of great drama for sure, but it's all served alongside a healthy amount of levity and hopefulness. The show is a lot more about thriving in difficult times than it is about how bad said difficult times can be. There's always a laugh or a heartwarming moment waiting around the corner of every heavy set of events. Not to mention the top-notch action sequences, of which you consistently get the full service. 97 pulls no punches and delivering spectacular action. There are so many times I rewatch fight scenes because I just couldn't get over how inventive the choreography and animation is. There are X-Men members I barely noticed in past X-Men media for whom 97 goes above and beyond in destroying my prejudices about.
Solid work, team. See you on the ground. To me, my X-Men.
In 97, honestly, there are no filler characters in the X-Men ensemble. I don't have the words to do the action in the show justice. If thrilling action is your poison, there are spades of that here to justify watching for that alone. The music in the show was perfect. With drama and action this intense, the wrong music choices would have taken so much from the show's impact. The producers do not disappoint though. They give every aspect of this series a masterful touch. At the time of reviewing, there's only one season out. At all accounts from the studio and insiders indicate there's at least 2 more on the way. I've rewatched 97 more times than I will admit, and it's a thrilling ride every single time. Thank you for watching.